My mom mocked me on my birthday, so I cut off their bills, told the truth, and walked away forever. My 28th birthday started with a silence so loud, it felt personal. No calls, no texts, no half-hearted happy birthday from my parents. Not even a thumbs-up emoji in the family group chat. And I knew better than to expect anything. But I still checked, still waited, still hoped, like a goddamn idiot. At 11:04 a.m., my phone buzzed. Family group chat. Finally. It was from my mom. But it wasn't a happy birthday message. It was this. No one's coming to your pity party, Ryan. Grow up. That was it. No cake emoji. No laughing face. Just a punch straight to the throat from the woman who gave birth to me. I stared at it for 5 full minutes. Didn't even blink. My hands went cold. I heard my phone ding again. More texts followed. From my sister Brittany, don't act surprised. You've made it clear you don't care about this family. Before we go further, don't forget to like this story, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss what happens next. From my dad, Mark, the king of enabling. Just let it go, son. It's your birthday. Be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. That was the mantra they always gave me when they wanted me to shut up and take it. When Brittany trashed my room as a teenager and blamed me for it. Be the bigger person. When mom forgot to pick me up from soccer practice 2 hours late. Be the bigger person. When I paid her rent for 6 straight months while she blew her savings on redecorating the living room. Be the goddamn bigger person. I didn't reply. Didn't lash out. Didn't defend myself. But something in me broke, clean, hard, and final. It wasn't rage. Not yet. It was clarity. This wasn't the first slap. This was just the last one I was going to take. Let me give you a little background, since context matters. I grew up in a middle-class suburb outside Chicago, Naperville. Nice lawns. Ugly families. Brittany was the golden child. Blonde, loud, cheerleader. Always got her way. Me? I was the weird one. Too quiet. Too smart. Too sensitive, mom said. I got good grades, stayed out of trouble, and moved out the second I turned 18. Put myself through college. Got a job in tech. Worked like hell to crawl out of that emotional pit they called parenting. And then I made the mistake so many black sheep make. I tried to help them anyway. Fast forward to now. I've got a solid job with a medical software startup in Chicago. Decent apartment. New car. No kids. No pets. No distractions. But every month, I've been paying my mom's cell phone bill, my dad's truck payment, Brittany's half of her rent after she got dumped by her burnout boyfriend, Tyler. They never asked directly. They just sent vague, guilt-laced texts. Just need help this once. Your sister's struggling, Ryan. You know how hard breakups are. I can't lose my car right now. You understand, right? So I paid. Because that's what the quiet ones do. We show up, even when we're the last ones invited. But that birthday message? That flipped a switch I didn't even know I had. They didn't just forget me. They mocked me. Publicly. Together. I didn't reply in the chat. Didn't post some dramatic comeback. Didn't throw a fit. Instead, I opened 3 tabs on my laptop. My mom's phone provider. My dad's truck finance portal. Brittany's Venmo history. One by one, I canceled everything. Auto payments? Gone. Linked accounts? Removed. Scheduled transfers? Canceled. And when it asked for a reason, I typed the same 3 words in each box. No longer responsible. By the time I shut my laptop, I felt lighter. Not happy. Not vindicated. But clean. Like stepping out of a storm you didn't know you'd been standing in for years. At 3:12 p.m., I got a call from mom. Ignored. 3 minutes later, a voicemail. Ryan. What the hell is wrong with you? Brittany's crying. Your father's truck payment bounced. You want to humiliate us? You're really going to do this on your birthday? Shame on you. At 3:45, Brittany sent. Wow. You really cut off your family over a joke? You're mentally unstable. Then, Tyler was right about you. Selfish. Cold. Freak. Tyler. The same ex she begged me to block. The one who flirted with her friend group and sold fake supplements on Instagram. Nice to know they were still talking. At 6:17 p.m., I finally replied. Only one message. Grow up. Then I left the group chat entirely. Blocked all 3 of them. Phone. Email. Socials. Gone. That night, I bought myself a cake. Nothing fancy, just a small chocolate one from the 24-hour store. Lit 1 candle. Ate it in silence. And made a promise. Next year, I'd celebrate with people who actually gave a damn if I existed. Even if that was just me. Day 2 after my birthday, and the silence was different now. Not the usual empty kind. This one buzzed. It vibrated through the cracks in my phone and under my skin. I knew something was brewing. And I was right. At 9:42 a.m., Lauren, my cousin on my dad's side, texted me. Hey, random question. Did you really threaten to cut your mom off completely because she didn't come to your birthday? What? Before I could reply, she followed up. She's saying you told her she was dead to you. That you screamed on the phone and said she ruined your life. Like, are you okay? There it was. The smear campaign had begun. Classic Diane Foster move. Start with the pity tour. Spin the story before anyone hears your side. Make sure they cry on the phone before they question the facts. I replied, nope, never happened. Want screenshots? She said no, but she didn't unfriend me, didn't call me crazy, didn't take sides. And that, for someone in my family, was progress. 2 hours later, Uncle Greg, Dad's brother, left me a voicemail. He sounded drunk, which wasn't unusual. Rian, listen. I don't know what's going on, but your mom's crying to your Aunt Mary, and your dad's saying he's gonna lose his truck. I mean, you making decent money now, ain't ya? You got no kids, no wife. Can't you just help him out a little? There it was. The old formula. If you're single and self-sufficient, your money doesn't really belong to you. It's family money. By default. I deleted the message. No reply. By the end of the day, I'd heard from 4 more relatives, all asking variations of the same thing. Why are you doing this to your family? Not, what did they do to you? Not, how are you holding up? Just, why are you making waves? I didn't answer any of them. Not yet. But the group chat? That was still gnawing at me. I had blocked them. Yeah, but not before screenshotting every message. And I mean everything. Mom's birthday jab Brittany's digs dad's, be the bigger person, sermon Brittany calling me unstable, her saying Tyler was right about me. I even saved the Venmo receipts. Why? Because I had a plan. See, I didn't want revenge. I wanted documentation. And now? Now I had it. That night, I drafted a post. Wrote it slow, ruthlessly, fact after fact. No emotion, no name calling, just truth. Pure, surgical, undeniable truth. Then I sat on it for 24 hours, just to be sure. And the next day at noon, I hit post. Here's what I wrote. I've kept my mouth shut for a long time, but since I'm being publicly smeared through private texts and family gossip, here's my side. For years, I financially supported 3 grown adults in my family while they treated me like an afterthought. I paid my mother's cell phone bill for 4 years. I paid my father's truck payment for 18 months. I covered my sister's rent 3 times after her ex bailed on her. Not once did I ask for a thank you. But on my 28th birthday, my mom sent a message to our group chat that said, "No one's coming to your pity party, grow up." So I grew up. I cut them off. And now, suddenly, I'm the villain. Family isn't a license to abuse. Loyalty isn't a one-way street. If you've ever been the quiet one who just kept giving while being treated like a backup option, I see you. And you're not crazy. Silence isn't maturity. Boundaries aren't betrayal. And I left it at that. No tags. No replies. Just the truth. I closed the app and went to lunch like it was any other Tuesday. It exploded. Not viral, but visible. Coworkers saw it. Old college friends. Extended family. Even Brittany's ex, Tyler, liked the post. Petty? Absolutely. But satisfying? You bet. I didn't hear from my parents that day. But Brittany? Oh, she went full rage mode. Sent me an email titled, "Wow, you're so dramatic." It read, "Congrats. You've officially humiliated your entire family on the internet because your birthday wasn't good enough. Enjoy the sympathy. Hope it buys you friends." I didn't respond. She followed up 4 hours later. "Also, you lied. You didn't pay my rent 3 times. It was twice." That made me laugh. 2 days later, something unexpected happened. Someone new reached out. Her name was Jessie, a girl I hadn't talked to since sophomore year of college. She DM'd me, "Hey, saw your post. Just wanted to say, I had to cut my mom off last year. You're not alone." And that one message? That was the start of everything shifting. Because after Jessie came more people. Coworkers. Friends of friends. Even old neighbors. All of them with variations of the same sentence. "I didn't know you were going through that." Me too. I thought I was the only one. Thank you for saying it out loud. I'd spent years thinking I was weak for not being able to get over it. Turns out, I was strong for surviving it at all. But just when I thought the storm had passed, it hit me. There was one person I hadn't heard from yet. One person who had stayed silent through the whole thing. Dad. And that silence? It didn't mean he was staying out of it. It meant he was planning something. A week after the post, I got a text from my dad. Simple. Lunch. 2 syllables. Like that was enough to reset everything. I stared at the message for 10 minutes before replying. Why? His answer came fast. "Let's talk. Just you and me. No pressure. No guilt. Just, Dad. Which was the problem? Mark Foster wasn't a screamer. He wasn't a hitter. He was worse. He was reasonable. The kind of man who could lie to your face and make you feel like you were overreacting. And for years, I fell for it. But something about that text gnawed at me. So I said yes. Not because I trusted him. Because I needed to look the man in the eye and confirm what I already suspected. That he wasn't neutral. That he never was. We met at a diner just off the highway. He was already there when I walked in. Khakis. Polo shirt. Sunglasses on the table like he thought he was still 30. He smiled like we hadn't just nuked each other online. Ryan, he said, standing to shake my hand. I sat. No handshake. He cleared his throat. How you been? Fine. Work okay? Fine. He nodded. Then sighed like the weight of the world was on his back. I read your post. There it was. I didn't say anything. He went on. Didn't expect you to go public like that. Thought you were more private. Translation. Thought you'd keep taking the hits silently, like always. He leaned in, lowered his voice. Your mom's pretty upset. I smirked. She should be. He didn't like that. I saw it, that flicker in his jaw. But he kept the act going. Brittany's embarrassed. She lost some clients over this. Realtors are funny about online drama. I sipped my water. Maybe she shouldn't have called me unstable. He nodded slowly, like a therapist pretending to listen. I just think, maybe this got out of hand. Maybe everyone said things they regret. I raised an eyebrow. Did they? He hesitated. Ryan, I'm not saying you were wrong, but you're not exactly blameless either. There it was. The pivot. Classic Mark. Start soft, end sharp. Let me guess, I said. I was supposed to eat their garbage forever just because they're family? He held up his hands. I'm just saying, you know how your mom is. She's emotional. Brittany's young. I just want peace. I sat back. Really looked at him. This man who watched his wife mock her son's birthday in a family chat. Who said nothing when I paid their bills. Who stayed quiet when I got dogpiled for finally saying enough. He didn't want peace. He wanted silence. Mine. So I leaned in. You want peace, Dad? Here's how you get it. You tell the truth. You admit what's been happening for years. You tell Mom and Brittany they were wrong. You stand up. You say it publicly. He blinked. Ryan, be reasonable? No. I've been reasonable. My whole damn life. I grabbed my coat. Lunch untouched. You don't want peace, Dad. You want control. And I walked out. The next day, another Facebook post. Guess who? Yep. Diane Foster. This one read, tried to fix things with Ryan today. He's still angry. Still disrespectful. Still stuck in his version of events. I pray he finds healing. The comments were exactly what you'd expect. You're such a good mom. Some kids just can't let go of the past. He'll come around. They always do. I didn't comment. Didn't respond. But the gloves? They were officially off. Because I realized something that day, they weren't ashamed of what they'd done. They were ashamed it wasn't working anymore. They couldn't guilt me. Couldn't silence me. Couldn't control the narrative. So they played victim. Because that's what abusers do when you stop letting them abuse you. They play the damn victim. And that's when it hit me. I'd been reacting. Now I needed to act. Not to get even. To get free. So I opened a blank document on my laptop. Started typing. My story. From the beginning. Every twisted thing they did. Every time they made me feel small. Every manipulation. Every unpaid bill. Every public insult disguised as concern. Not for revenge. For clarity. For me. For anyone who ever sat alone on their birthday, wondering why the people who were supposed to love them the most made them feel like an accident. And when I was done, I knew exactly what I was going to do next. Something I knew they couldn't ignore. Something they couldn't twist. I was going to tell the full story. Publicly. Unfiltered. Unapologetic. On camera. Because they started this in a group chat. But I was about to finish it on a stage they couldn't mute. The camera sat on a tripod in the corner of my bedroom. Basic lighting. Neutral background. No filters. No drama. Just me. And the truth. I didn't do a script. Didn't rehearse. I turned it on, stared straight into the lens, and let it all out. Every unpaid debt I covered. Every time they guilt me for saying no. Every birthday ignored. Every passive-aggressive jab. Every time, being the bigger person just meant being the family doormat. I told them what it felt like to send money you didn't have to people who didn't say thank you. To sit at your own birthday dinner alone. To be mocked in a group chat by your own mother and sister, while your dad told you to let it go. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just told it clean. And when I finished, I uploaded the video to YouTube. Unlisted, but shareable. Then I posted it on Reddit. Caption: My family humiliated me on my birthday, after I supported them financially for years. Here's what I have to say about it. Did I expect it to go viral? No, but I knew someone would see it. And maybe, just maybe, it'd help someone else take the scissors to a toxic rope they were still clinging to. It hit 10,000 views overnight. Then 30K. Then 100K by the weekend. The comment section blew up. This is my story. Word for word. Black sheep unite. I cried at the part where you said you lit your own candle. Your mom sounds like mine. I thought I was crazy. Subscribed. Please never stop speaking truth. For a moment, I felt weightless. Not vindicated. Not powerful. Just seen. And that's when the real blowback started. Monday morning, my phone blew up. Calls from unknown numbers. Text from people I hadn't spoken to in years. Even one from my high school English teacher. You always had a voice, Ryan. I'm glad you found it. But it wasn't just supporters. The hate came fast too. Some from strangers. Most from family. Brittany posted a 3-slide Instagram story. Slide 1. A baby picture of us together. Slide 2. A long paragraph about how painful it is when your sibling turns on you for internet points. Slide 3. A close-up selfie with tear-glossed eyes and a caption that said, "Love hurts. Especially when it's not real." Cringe. My mom followed up on Facebook. My heart breaks that I raised a son who'd rather chase strangers' sympathy than call his own mother. The comments were exactly what you'd expect. She's a saint. I'd be devastated too. Ryan's clearly unstable. But the difference now? People weren't buying it. Because in the comments were my screenshots. Other users posted my original proof. Messages from mom. Venmo receipts. Screenshots of the group chat where she called me pathetic. The internet didn't forget. The internet had records. And for the first time, my family couldn't delete it. Couldn't twist it. Couldn't talk it through in private with their version of the story. It was out. And they hated that more than anything. Tuesday evening, my dad showed up at my apartment. No warning. No text. I watched him through the peephole for 5 minutes before I even opened the door. He didn't come alone. He brought my Aunt Lydia, mom's sister. Neutral territory. Or so he thought. "Ryan," she said softly. "Can we come in?" "No," I said. Dad stepped forward. "You need to take that video down." "Why?" "It's humiliating." "For who?" He flinched. It's unfair. It makes us look like monsters." I tilted my head. "Maybe you shouldn't have acted like monsters." Aunt Lydia tried again. "We just think this should be handled privately." That ship sailed when Mom wrote, "No one's coming to your pity party," in a group chat. That shut them up. But Dad had one more card to play. "If you don't take it down," he said, "we'll talk to a lawyer." Slander's a serious accusation. I smiled. Finally. I'd been waiting for this. "Do it," I said. "I've got receipts. Timeline. Audio. Witnesses. Plus a following that loves nothing more than a legal battle." He blinked. "You wouldn't. You think that camera only came on last week?" They didn't say another word. Just turned and walked off. And I shut the door. Locked it. And laughed. They'd spent decades controlling the narrative. Now, they couldn't even control the comments. I kept making videos. Not to drag them through the mud. To explain patterns. Gaslighting. Triangulation. Weaponized guilt. The myth of the perfect family. I told stories. I didn't name names anymore. Didn't have to. The people who needed to hear it recognized themselves instantly. And then came the message that gutted me. A DM from a girl in Wisconsin. 15. "My mom treats me like this too. I didn't know other people lived like this. Thank you." I stared at it for 10 minutes before replying. "You are not what they say you are." And I meant it. But not everyone was learning. Because that Friday, Brittany pulled her biggest move yet. She contacted my company. Sent an anonymous email to HR. Claimed I was publicly slandering family in a way that made the business look bad. Said I was unstable. I only found out when HR called me in for a check-in. The email? They showed me. And guess what? She didn't even cover her tracks. Used an email with her real name in the CC thread. I laughed. HR didn't. But they didn't fire me either. They told me I was free to live my life and speak my truth, as long as I didn't drag the company name into it. Fair enough. I went home and filmed another video. Title: "When They Try to Silence You, Speak Louder." The next week, my channel hit 100K. People sent letters, emails, DMs, donations. They told me I saved them. But I wasn't trying to save anyone. I was just trying to live. Out loud. For once. But the more I healed, the more I saw what they'd really been afraid of all along, me without them. Because now, I had a voice. I had clarity. I had power. And they couldn't stand it. So I started preparing the final piece. One last post. One last truth bomb. Not angry. Not bitter. Just honest. But before I could publish it, I got an unexpected call. From my grandmother. The one person who never got involved. Who never took sides. She just said, "Ryan, I saw your videos. And I want to tell you something you've never heard from this family." The call from Grandma shook me in a way nothing else had. This was a woman who lived through wars, literal and family. She had always been polite. Neutral. Old school to a fault. Never raised her voice. Never took a side. But when I picked up the phone, her voice wasn't shaky. It was clear. Measured. "Ryan," she said. "I've watched all of it. Every post. Every video." My stomach twisted. She paused. "I want to say something I never said when you were a child, and I need you to hear me. I believe you." I didn't say anything at first. Didn't know what to say. She continued. "I knew something was off when you were little. You were always so quiet. Tense. Like you didn't feel safe in your own skin. But when I asked your mom about it, she said you were just dramatic. That you liked playing victim." I closed my eyes. Of course she did. "I wish I had listened better," Grandma said. "I wish I'd asked you." "I'm sorry I didn't." A lump caught in my throat. She wasn't crying, but I was. Just sitting there on the edge of my bed, phone pressed to my ear, feeling 30 pounds lighter and 20 years older all at once. "You don't have to forgive them," she said softly. "But don't let them take any more of your peace. It's not their birthright. It's yours." We talked for almost an hour. She didn't justify anything. Didn't beg me to rebuild bridges. Didn't defend anyone. She just saw me. Maybe for the first time in my entire life. And sometimes, that's all you need. One person to say, "You're not the crazy one." That conversation gave me clarity. Not vengeance. Not spite. Closure. The real kind. Not the cheap stuff wrapped in false apologies. I was ready to move on. But of course, they weren't. 3 days later, I got an email. Subject line, "Let's end this." It was from Brittany. I stared at it for a long minute before opening it. "I've talked to Mom and Dad. We want to meet. Not to fight. Just to reset things. Start clean. No cameras. No public posts. Just family. Grandma will be there too." They really thought dragging Grandma on would seal the deal. I took a breath, closed the laptop, and didn't respond. 2 hours later, I got a call. From a restricted number. I picked up without thinking. "Ryan, it's Dad." "Of course." "You read the email?" I did. He hesitated. "We just think it's time. For healing." "Translation?" I asked. He sighed. "Just come talk. One last time. You want me in a room where you all pretend to apologize, but really just try to gaslight me into silence again?" "Ryan, stop. That's not fair. It's accurate." He was quiet. Then, softly, "People are saying things, Ryan. About us. About you. It's gone too far." I almost laughed. "You're not worried about healing. You're worried about reputation." Click. I hung up. Blocked the number. That night, I got another message. From Tyler. Yes, that Tyler. My sister's ex. The supplement-selling, clout-chasing, beard oil reviewing parasite. "Bro, you went way too hard on them. It's family. Chill out." I sent one reply. Says the guy who asked me for rent money after cheating on her. "You can block yourself now." And still, the pressure didn't stop. Now extended family started showing up. Great aunts. Distant cousins. Childhood neighbors. One even messaged me on LinkedIn. "Not sure if you remember me. I used to babysit you when you were 6. Just wanted to say maybe you could take the high road now." I wanted to scream. Where was this energy when I was being torn down? But I didn't scream. I didn't reply. I just opened a folder on my computer titled, "Final Cut, The Truth About Family." And I started editing. This wasn't about drama. This was my goodbye. One final message. The whole arc. From childhood, to abuse, to silence, to escape, to freedom. Not a burn piece. Not an attack. A memorial. For the person I used to be. I worked on it for 4 days straight. Spliced old family videos with clips from my channel. Overlaid it all with a voiceover that told the real story. No venom. No blame. Just facts. And perspective. At the end of the video, I said, "If you're in a family that makes you feel small for setting boundaries, listen to me. You are not a villain for saving yourself. You are not ungrateful for saying enough. Sometimes, the bravest thing you'll ever do is walk away from the people who raised you, because they refuse to grow with you." And before I uploaded it, I sent it to one person, Grandma. No explanation. Just a private link. She wrote back an hour later. "This is what truth sounds like. Post it. I'm proud of you. They may never understand. But I do. So I scheduled it. Next Friday, 8 p.m. sharp. Titled, "Why I Left, The Truth About My Family, and How I Finally Found Peace." I logged out. Closed my laptop. Made dinner. Sat on my porch with my favorite drink and the breeze in my face. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't care what they would say, because I wasn't doing this for them. I was doing this for me, and for every quiet kid who thought being the bigger person meant staying small forever. Friday, 7:58 p.m. I was sitting in front of my laptop, alone, lights low, dog asleep by the couch. The premiere countdown had started. 3 minutes to go. People were already piling into the chat. Comments flying. Here early. Can't wait for this one. This guy saved me last month. No joke. I didn't type anything. Didn't wave. Didn't tease what was coming. I just watched. Hands calm. Heart still. 8 p.m. The video went live. I didn't watch it. Not because I was afraid, but because I didn't need to. I already lived it. Word for word. Scar for scar. 28 minutes of voiceover. 28 years of truth. Laid bare. No names. No direct attacks. Just the full story of what it's like to grow up loving people who love you conditionally, who use shame as a leash, silence as currency, money as a guilt trap, and what it feels like to finally cut the chain, not out of hate, but survival. I turned off the screen and walked outside. No phone, no chat, just me, the sky, and the sound of letting go. By 10 p.m., the video had 87,000 views. By sunrise the next morning, over 300,000. It was everywhere. People stitched it, reacted to it, shared their own stories in response. This guy just told my life. I showed this to my mom. She didn't even finish watching. I didn't know I was allowed to leave. It was trending on TikTok under "Quiet Exit, Family is Not Ownership." I hadn't asked for a movement. But truth has a way of finding its people. Of course, the other side responded too. By noon, Brittany posted a long Instagram caption. It's so sad when someone weaponizes trauma for likes. My brother could have called us. But I guess strangers' approval matters more. The comments? Split. Some people comforted her. Others started asking questions. Is it true you made fun of him on his birthday? Where's the apology? She turned off comments within the hour. Mom followed up on Facebook, posting a Bible verse. Then something passive-aggressive about narcissism hiding behind boundaries. Same old Diane. Nothing new. Just louder now that no one's listening. But me? I didn't post anything else. Didn't need to. I got hundreds of emails in the next 2 days. Not just from strangers. From people I knew. Old classmates. Teachers. Coworkers. Even one of Brittany's ex-friends. I always thought your family was intense. Thanks for confirming it wasn't just me. Your sister bullied me in 10th grade. Watching her play the victim now is wild. Your mom used to call you the sensitive one. Turns out you were just the honest one. And then came the message that meant the most. A letter. From Grandma. Handwritten. Ryan, I showed your video to my bridge club. 3 women cried. One of them hadn't spoken to her son in years. She called him that night. I want you to know, you didn't break this family. You revealed the cracks they spent their lives trying to hide. And now, you're free. Love, Grandma. I cried. For the first time in months. But not out of pain. Out of relief. Out of finally knowing I wasn't crazy. I wasn't bitter. I wasn't wrong. I was just done. So I did something I hadn't done since I was a kid. I went to the lake. The one near my first apartment. No camera. No post. Just me. And I stood there with my feet in the water and whispered, "Thank you, Ryan, for not giving up on you." I left that day without the weight. I didn't carry their shame anymore. I didn't owe them explanations. Or replays. Or updates. They'd get silence. The one thing they hated most. Because my story was mine now. All of it. Final question to you. Have you ever had to walk away from your family to protect your peace? Have you ever been blamed just for telling the truth? Tell me in the comments. You're not alone. And if this story resonated with you, subscribe, share it with someone who needs strength, and remember, family isn't who shares your blood. It's who respects your boundaries. And when you finally choose yourself, that's not betrayal. That's survival.